Good morning, dear students. So we have completed with two chapters, one from unit number 2 and one from unit number 3. Last time we have studied about human health and disease. In that particular chapter, we have studied about variety of the infectious disease which are caused by some viruses, some protozoa, some fungi, bacteria, etc. So there is a common perception in our mind right now that microorganisms can cause disease only. But it is not completely true. It is half truth that they can cause disease. Yes, they can. But it is not that much true that they are only causing the disease. These microorganisms are helpful to the human being in variety of the ways, and they are performing such an important duties for the human. None of the field is now having no role of microorganism. Starting from agriculture, pharmaceutical, dairy, chemical industry, all these industries which are in directly contact with the human welfare are having the role of microorganisms. So we are going to start our chapter number 10, that is microbes in human welfare. It is one of the important chapter with respect to your board exam for 1 mark, 2 mark and 3 mark questions. Okay. Mostly you are not going to be asked 5 marks question from this chapter. Max to max 3 marks. And again, the 3 marks question are almost one word answers, one statement answers. Okay, they've coupled up 2 questions. Okay, in that way they can ask you. In case of NEET exam, 100%, 1 or 2 questions are going to be asked from this chapter, directly from your textbook. And you can compile this entire chapter in 1 or 2 pages in the table format. Okay, so let us begin with the journey of microorganisms in human welfare. So what are topics to be discussed in this chapter? The first topic we are going to discuss is microbes in household products, role of microbes particularly in household products. Number 2, microbes in industrial products, industrial applications of microorganisms, microbes and sewage treatment. Okay, see, for degradation of the pollutants from environment. Number 4, microbes in biogas production, renewable energy source, clean energy you can say. Microbes as biocontrol agents for agriculture. And number 6, microbes as biofertilizers. Okay, organic farming. Now, variety of the microorganisms, first of all, we are going to discuss about. So, ये आप already 11th में पढ़ चुके हैं about bacteria, its size, shape, appearance, organelles of the bacteria and all this. So bacteria which are rod shaped, and you are observing at the magnification of 1500 fold. Okay, these are the spherical shaped bacteria, rod shaped bacteria, generally having variety of the genus. These are spherical shaped, cocci shaped bacteria. These are also magnified at 1500 fold. This is ultra structure of the bacteria, which is of the rod shaped bacteria, showing some flagella. You can see flagella is important for the movement of the motility of the bacteria. Okay, many of the bacteria are not having this flagella, but on the other end, there are many microorganisms, many bacteria particularly, you can say, bearing flagella. And the number of the flagella may vary in different bacteria. It may be only 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5. Okay, depends on the species and the genus of the bacteria. So see some of the viruses. This is a bacteriophage. We know that. Okay, chapter number 2, 11 standard. Okay. Then adenovirus, which is causing respiratory infections. This is rod-shaped tobacco mosaic virus, TMV, which is magnified about 1 lakh to 1,50,000 fold under electron microscope. Okay. All the structures we have studied, but just we are summarizing right now variety of the microorganisms. See, this is the bacterial colony. This is Petri plate. Okay. This is Petri plate, a glass plate. Okay. In that you can culture the bacteria. You can grow this bacteria. You can see this colonies of the bacteria. In one of the colony of this bacteria, okay, there are millions and trillions of the bacteria. Okay, in single colony. There are trillions of the bacteria present in the single colony. So this is bacterial growth. This is fungal growth. This is the fungi which is growing in the Petri plate. Okay. So you can observe that number of the bacterial colonies are very high in Petri plate. Okay, it is having small colonies, whereas in case of fungi, it is making large colony. Yes, there might be number of the colonies of the fungi in the same Petri plate. Okay, but the colony size is very large compared to bacterial colony. Because we know that fungi is multicellular. In case of yeast, see, yeast is also fungi. We know that yeast is also fungi, but it is unicellular fungi. Okay, we have studied in 11th standard. Okay, so yeast के जो colonies होंगे वो bacterial colony के जैसे ही होंगे. Okay, in appearance, because it is unicellular. Whereas the filamentous fungi is multicellular, it is having puffy appearance on this Petri plate. Okay, on this Petri plate, actually we have spreaded nutrient media, and utilizing these nutrients from the media, this bacteria and fungi can grow. So our first point of the discussion of this chapter, that is microbes in household products. Okay, so there are number of ways you can use microorganisms for the production of the household products. Okay, and since time immemorial we are using this microorganisms. किसी को पता भी नहीं है. Okay, when this method was evolved, do any of us know about when the curd was invented? Because without taking help of microorganism, and in that a particular type of the microorganism only, not all, a particular type of the bacteria is used for making curd. Okay, we are not having any fixed date, even not a fixed year that curd was invented first time. During this time, during this era, we are not having that particular date. Only assumptions are there. So since time immemorial, we are using microorganisms for household products. See which type of the household products we are producing using this fascinating character of nature, that is microorganisms. So lactobacillus is one such bacteria, which is also known as LAB, which is lactic acid bacteria. Okay, what they are doing actually. So lactobacillus or lactic acid bacteria in abbreviated form, it is called LAB. They convert milk to curd by producing acids that coagulate and partially digest the milk products, proteins, sorry. So lactobacillus, एक ऐसा bacteria which can ferment the milk. Now we know what is fermentation. 11th standard. So in 11th standard, we have studied about fermentation. Okay. That is metabolism in absence of oxygen. That is biochemical fermentation. Here we are saying about industrial fermentation process, though it is household product. Okay. Means यहाँ पे जो भी lactobacillus कर रहे हैं, that is called fermentation. Okay. So milk को कर्ड में कन्वर्ट करते हैं और कैसे करते हैं, तो वी नो दैट मिल्क इज अ रिच सोर्स ऑफ प्रोटीन्स. तो ये जो प्रोटीन्स है उन प्रोटीन्स को ये कोएगुलेट कर देते हैं, क्लम्प्स बना देते हैं प्रोटीन्स के. कैसे बनता है, तो बाय प्रोड्यूसिंग एसिड्स. तो ये लैक्टिक एसिड बैक्टीरिया है, ये लैक्टिक एसिड बनाते हैं और ये लैक्टिक एसिड क्या करता है, मिल्क के जो प्रोटीन्स है उसको कोएगुलेट करता है, पार्शियली डाइजेस्ट करता है, सो दैट कंसिस्टेंसी ऑफ द मिल्क इज चेंज्ड. Okay, and that is called, and not only consistency, flavor, taste, everything has been changed. And this is called curd. The fresh milk can be converted to curd by adding some curd containing lab. Okay, that is a common practice in our home. Making curd. Okay, what we are doing, actually we are taking inoculum, that is inoculation culture, a spoonful of the curd which is previously prepared, and we are mixing that spoonful of curd in the milk container. Okay, and then on the next day it is going to be converted into curd. So it is very common practice, everybody knows about this, but the magic is performed by lactic acid bacteria. And see, we are saying milk is considered as complete food, but it is not exactly true. Okay, because it is not having that much amount of vitamin B12 in that. But whenever you are making curd from milk, it will be rich source of the vitamin B12. And that's why in Indian traditional system, in Indian nutritional or dietary system, you can say curd should be taken during the morning every day, because it is having rich source of vitamin B12, and it is, and this knowledge is also since time immemorial. In stomach, this lactic acid bacteria helps to check pathogens. See, this is also one of the important information for you. So not only they are preparing curd from milk, लेकिन ये जो bacteria, lactic acid bacteria, ये किसी भी पैथोजन को वहां पे हमारे स्टमक में इन्वेड नहीं करने देते, कॉलोनाइज नहीं होने देते. दे आर कंपीटिंग विद द पैथोजेंस. सो इट इज आल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट दैट दे आर प्रिवेंटिंग द इन्फेक्शन. अगर हमारे फूड स्टफ में या वाटर में कहीं पे भी कंटामिनेशन है किसी और पैथोजन का, तो ये लैक्टिक एसिड बैक्टीरिया अगर आपने कर्ड के साथ, मतलब यू हैव यूटिलाइज द कर्ड और उसमें और कुछ नहीं है, कर्ड में मिल्क प्लस लैक्टिक एसिड बैक्टीरिया ही है. ओके, so they are not allowing this pathogens to grow. So curd is very healthy diet for each and every person. If you are taking, you are getting number of the benefits from that. You are getting source of vitamin B12 as well as, and if vitamin B12 is increasing, obviously your hemoglobin is going to increase, as well as it is also preventing you from the infections, from having food and waterborne infections. Abhi, commercially, you might be knowing about some products from some dairy based industries like Amul, Nestle and all this. So they are producing a particular type of the ice cream. They are also producing a particular type of curd, buttermilk. Nestle is producing particular type of chocolates. Okay, and they have labeled this all products with the name probiotics. It is called probiotics. So what is probiotics? Actually, in this probiotics, they have added, it is called probiotics. So in this probiotics, number of helpful bacteria are increased, and this helpful bacteria are developed by research. सो है तो ये लैक्टिक एसिड बैक्टीरिया है, लेकिन इनको लैब में प्रोड्यूस करवाया गया है फ्रॉम द नेचुरली अकरिंग लैक्टिक एसिड बैक्टीरिया. इनको थोड़ा मॉडिफाई किया गया है, और ये जो बैक्टीरिया है उसको कर्ड में मिक्स किया जाता है. मतलब वॉट एवर कर्ड यू आर परचेसिंग फ्रॉम so and so industry, I am taking the name of Amul and Nestle, not branding them, but they have performed this. They have already launched this products. That's why I'm saying. So what Amul has done, एक्चुअली अमूल ने अपने कर्ड के वैरायटी में ये किया है कि कुछ एक्स्ट्रा अमाउंट में ऐसे डेवलप किए हुए बैक्टीरिया उसमें मिक्स किए हैं जो नॉर्मल लैक्टिक एसिड बैक्टीरिया से अच्छा परफॉर्म करते हैं. ऑलरेडी लैक्टिक एसिड बैक्टीरिया हमारे मेटाबॉलिज्म में क्या हेल्प कर रहे हैं, तो दे आर इंक्रीजिंग विटामिन B12 एज वेल एज दे आर आल्सो चेकिंग द पैथोजेंस इन आवर डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम. तो ये जो वेल डेवलप्ड बैक्टीरिया है वो क्या करेंगे, यही काम करेंगे लेकिन with higher efficiency. So it is called probiotic. और नेस्ले ने कुछ ऐसे चॉकलेट प्रोड्यूस किए हैं जिसमें ये प्रोबायोटिक्स हैं. So it is actually considered as healthy diet. Okay. Check for this probiotic foods. Okay, आप गूगल कर सकते हैं प्रोबायोटिक फूड्स. तो ऐसे और भी कंपनी आपको मिल सकते हैं, और भी प्रोडक्ट्स आपको ऐसे मिल सकते हैं which are having this type of the bacteria. Then second, bacterial fermentation, that is called anaerobic respiration in dough is used to make foods such as dosa, idli, etc. Okay, so obviously you will be having water in your mouth right now. Same here also, but right now our focus is on microorganisms which are performing these duties for us. Okay, so we know that dosa idli कौन बनाता है, मम्मी बनाती है, लेकिन not only मम्मी, along with your mom some microorganisms are making this type of the delicious food stuff for you. So hats off to those microorganisms also along with your mom. So the puffed up appearance of dough is due to the production of CO2 gas. Okay, you can see this is dough. Okay, it is actually made up of finely prepared wheat flour. Okay, this is also dough, same here. So it is puffing up. Why? So actually whenever we are preparing this dough for making this dosa, idli and some of the bakery products even. Okay, so in that what is actually happening, so जब भी हम ये डो बनाते हैं for making up all these products, okay, in that mixture bacteria are there, and this bacteria are performing fermentation, and we know what is fermentation, that is anaerobic respiration. ऑक्सीजन को यूटिलाइज नहीं कर रहे हैं लेकिन CO2 रिलीज करते हैं. ओके, दैट इज एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन. और इसकी वजह से क्या होगा, CO2 जो प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है, दैट CO2 is actually making up the puffed up appearance and elevated appearance of this dough. It is giving some smoothness and smooth texture to the dough which we have prepared for this dishes. So यहाँ पे भी जो बैक्टीरिया काम आते हैं वो लैक्टिक एसिड बैक्टीरिया ही हैं फॉर मेकिंग डोसा एंड इडली. If we are talking about the bakery industry, so where lactic acid bacteria are not used, but there yeast is used. Okay, so name of the yeast is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. ये नाम हमें पता है, ऑलरेडी 11th स्टैंडर्ड में हमने चैप्टर नंबर 2 में पढ़ा हुआ है. Saccharomyces cerevisiae, it is the name of the yeast, or this yeast is used for making up this bakery products like bread and all these things. और बेकरी इंडस्ट्री में ये यीस्ट यूज हो रही है, इसीलिए इस यीस्ट के लिए एक सिनोनिम भी यूज हो रहा है, दैट इज कॉल्ड बेकर्स यीस्ट. इट इज कॉल्ड निक नेम ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर यीस्ट, बेकर्स यीस्ट. ओके, लैक्टिक एसिड बैक्टीरिया जो इडली डोसा एंड कर्ड बनाने के लिए यूज होते हैं लैब, उसको आप बोल सकते हैं मॉम्स बैक्टीरिया. ओके, बिकॉज दे आर हेल्पिंग आवर मॉम फॉर प्रिपेयरिंग ऑल दिस डिशेस. और यहाँ पे ये यीस्ट जो है ये बेकर जो है उसको हेल्प कर रहा है, बेकर इंडस्ट्री को हेल्प कर रहा है, इसीलिए इसको बोला गया बेकर्स यीस्ट. एंड द नेम ऑफ बेकर्स यीस्ट इज Saccharomyces cerevisiae. रिपीटेडली asked question. Okay, what is the name of Becker's yeast? तो आपको ये पूरा स्पेलिंग आना चाहिए if it has been asked in board exam. नीट के लिए स्पेलिंग याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay. One more product which is not that much familiar to all of you, that is called toddy. Toddy is made by fermenting sap from palms. Okay, so toddy एक liquid aqueous juice जैसा प्रोडक्ट है which is actually made by fermenting sap from the palms. तो palm tree जो है उसमें जो sap है उसका xylem के अंदर जो watery content है, okay, उसमें fermentation होता रहता है during the day time, during the sun exposure time you can say. Okay, so ये toddy उसमें से बनाया जाता है. In Gujarat it is also in practice in some of the regions like you can say South Gujarat districts, as well as it is also in Kerala, Goa and all these states, also in Maharashtra. Microbes are used to ferment fish, soybean and bamboo shoots and to produce cheeses. Variety of the cheese can be produced. See यहाँ पे कितना हेल्पफुल है माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म में, आप देख सकते हैं. फिश को फर्मेंट करने के लिए फॉर मेकिंग अप सम ऑफ द डिशेस फ्रॉम द फिश. देन fermented soybean, actually this ferment soybean we know that it is having high protein content, but whenever you are fermenting this soybean it is actually producing a kind of enzyme. आपके सिलेबस में नहीं है लेकिन मैं उस एंजाइम का नाम आपको बता देता हूँ. ओके, सोयाबीन को जब फर्मेंट किया जाता है तो उसमें एक एंजाइम प्रोड्यूस होता है. द नेम ऑफ द एंजाइम इज नाटोकाइनेस. द नेम ऑफ द एंजाइम इज नाटोकाइनेस. रिसर्च चल रहा है इस नाटोकाइनेस के ऊपर, वेदर इट इज एक्चुअली फंक्शनिंग एट दैट मच एफिशिएंसी और नॉट, बट ये एंजाइम वहां से प्रोड्यूस होता है इन सम ऑफ द साउथ ईस्ट एशियन कंट्रीज एंड इवन इन जापान. The research has been going on and the name has been given from those countries only, nattokinase. Okay, it is helpful in medical field for treating some of the health related problems, nattokinase. Okay, or soya, not only getting for nattokinase. Okay, soybean which are fermented are helpful. The soybean, fermented soybean are being great source of some byproducts of the protein fermentation. It is great source of the direct accumulation of amino acids as well as vitamins and all this. Okay, and that's why fermented soybean are helpful for our diet, for our health, sorry. Then bamboo shoot fermentation. Now what is the need for fermentation of the bamboo shoot? Okay, so in our state it is not in practice, but in South India, southern part of the India, particularly you can say Deccan Plateau area, as well as Western Ghats, particularly you can say, as well as the northeastern states. Okay, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Manipal and all this. Okay, all this states are having pickles of bamboo, and fermented bamboo is in their diet. Okay, so this is also important. Okay, though it is not in practice in our neighborhood, but it is in somewhere. Then these microorganisms are helpful for the production of the cheese. Variety of the cheese can be produced by this microorganisms. See, so cheese, it is very one of the very important dietary source, and not only being dietary source. Okay, whatever is played right now on the screen, the same condition is with all of us right now by just naming the cheese. Okay, we are being cheesy. Swiss cheese, Roquefort cheese. Actually, in your textbook, they have mentioned only 1 or 2 types of the cheese. Okay, but there are more than 20 types of the cheese are available in market. So cheese is cheese. Then what is the difference between these all the cheese? तो जितने भी चीज बन रहे हैं in the dairy industry particularly, उन सभी में प्रोसेसिंग अलग है, उन सभी में अलग अलग तरह के माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म यूज हो रहे हैं फॉर द प्रोसेसिंग ऑफ दोस टाइप ऑफ द चीज. जैसे यहाँ पे आपके टेक्स्ट बुक के हिसाब से 2 नाम आपको दिए गए, दैट इज स्विस चीज एंड रॉक्वीफोर्ट चीज. सो व्हाट आर दे? यू कैन सी दिस इज the appearance of the Swiss cheese. Okay, Swiss cheese दिखने में ऐसा लगता है. It is the morphology of the Swiss cheese, morphological appearance. This is Roquefort cheese. This Roquefort cheese is looking like a dish, a dessert, you can say. So how this variety of the cheese can be produced? So Swiss cheese has large holes due to production of CO2 by Propionibacterium shermani, which is the name of a bacteria which is used for the production of this Swiss cheese. Okay, तो Swiss cheese कैसे बनाया जाता है? तो Swiss cheese बनाने के लिए आपको चाहिए एक वैरायटी, एक important वैरायटी बैक्टीरिया का, that is known as Propionibacterium shermani. Okay, and what is the important character of this Swiss cheese? तो स्वीस चीज थोड़ा पफी होता है कंपेयर टू अदर चीज. ओके, पफी इसलिए है कि उसमें हाई प्रोडक्शन ऑफ द CO2 किया जाता है, और ये हाई लेवल ऑफ CO2 प्रोडक्शन करने के लिए जो इम्पोर्टेंट माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म है दैट इज प्रोपियोनिबैक्टीरियम शर्मानी. तो यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है व्हाट इज द इम्पोर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ द स्विस चीज एंड हाउ इट इज प्रोड्यूस्ड और विच माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म इज यूज्ड फॉर इट्स प्रोडक्शन. 2 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन. In one statement you have to write that is having high CO2 content, और दूसरा बनाने के लिए जो बैक्टीरिया यूज होता है उसका नाम. Then Roquefort cheese is ripened by growing a fungus that is Penicillium roqueforti on them. So एक बार चीज बन जाता है उसके बाद उसको राइपनिंग प्रोसेस में ले जाना पड़ता है. ओके, और यहाँ पे रॉक्वीफोर्ट चीज का जो राइपनिंग प्रोसेस है वो करने के लिए एक इम्पोर्टेंट फंजाई यूज होती है दैट इज कॉल्ड पेनिसिलियम रॉक्वीफोर्टी. ओके, तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं प्रोपियोनिबैक्टीरियम का ग्राम स्टेनिंग आपको दिखाया गया है. ओके, इट इज रोड शेप्ड बैक्टीरिया. आप देख सकते हैं ग्राम पॉजिटिव रोड शेप्ड बैक्टीरिया है, ये उसका ग्राम स्टेनिंग है. 11th में हमने ग्राम स्टेनिंग पढ़ा है. ये आप देख सकते हैं पेनिसिलियम रॉक्वीफोर्टी. ओके, उसका ये फ्रूटनिंग बॉडी का स्ट्रक्चर, हाइफे का स्ट्रक्चर आपको यहाँ पे दिखाया गया है. ओके, so dear students, today we have completed with role of microorganism for the production of some household important products. Okay, तो बहुत इजीली आप इसका एक अच्छा सा टेबल बना सकते हैं. प्रोडक्ट का नाम, उसके सामने माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म का नाम, देन third column will be the name of the important characteristic of that product, as well as some of the characteristics of that microorganism. Okay, इतना आप वहां पे एक टेबल फॉर्मेट में लिखेंगे तो it will hardly take half page. Okay, and it will be helpful, the same table will be helpful for you in the board exam as well as in the NEET exam. Okay, so it is really very important and easy going chapter. Okay, but the thing is you have to remember lot of names in this chapter. Okay, fine. So it is based, not, there is no technique sharing and all these things in this chapter, but everywhere you will find this type of the microorganisms and their role in variety of the fields. Okay, which is actually helpful to us right now. So in last chapter we have studied role of microorganisms as disease causing agent, and in this chapter we are studying role of microorganism in human welfare. Okay, two extreme ends we are studying. Okay, fine. So dear students, I am ending this session right now. If you are having any doubt, any queries, question, please ask me through WhatsApp, through message, through call, and please learn well. Okay, so have a nice day.